You should have never played with the energy of someone chosen by the universe, because now that curse has found its way home, and it's never leaving. Now imagine this for a moment, chosen one. They lit the match, thinking you'd burn, but instead the fire turned around and set them ablaze. The spell they cast wasn't a curse on you, it was a mirror, and now they can't escape their own reflection. It's a universal law. What you send out, you get back, with interest. And when you try to bend the universe against a soul it protects, that same universe will bend you until you break. That's not superstition. That's not opinion. That's real. There's a reason witchcraft always comes with a price, and for them, the cost is forever. And thank you, chosen one. Don't forget to pay this message back by simply pressing like and subscribe to help spread this truth to more souls, because it's the responsibility of all of us to spread the light. And thank you for being part of this mission. You're not just a viewer, you're part of a force. Let's get into it. You see, chosen one, what they did to you wasn't just cruel, it was reckless. They tapped into something dark and dangerous, thinking they could manipulate energy, bend fate, and rewrite your story. But the universe doesn't play by their rules. It has its own way of balancing things. And when someone uses spiritual tools to bring harm, especially against someone the universe chose to protect, the energy doesn't just disappear. It rebounds. It sticks. It clings. They thought they could hex you, curse you, use rituals or spells to disrupt your peace, but they didn't understand that what they really did was bind themselves to the very darkness they were trying to send your way. It's like trying to throw mud in a storm. It just blows right back in your face. And now, that storm is living in their house. The nightmares, the confusion, the breakdowns, they're not coincidences. These are the side effects of playing with forces they couldn't control. They're walking around with fake smiles and broken spirits. Some of them feel watched. Some hear whispers. Some don't even recognize their own reflection anymore, not because of magic, but because of madness. They created chaos and got swallowed by it. And here's the part that keeps them up at night. You're still standing. You're still walking with your head high. You're healing, growing, shining while they shrink. They check your social media secretly. They ask about you quietly. They stalk your presence from a distance, not out of hate anymore, but confusion. Why didn't it work? Because you're the chosen one. And chosen ones don't crumble. They ascend. They didn't realize that trying to curse someone the universe favors is like throwing a rock at the sky. The sky doesn't shatter, but the rock returns. And it returns harder than it left. What they did wasn't magic. It was self-destruction. They thought they were cursing you, but they were actually writing their own fate in ashes and regret. Now some of them are desperate to undo it. Some pretend it never happened. Others blame everyone but themselves, but deep down they know. They feel it. That energy they tried to bury you with, it's rotting in their life now, in their relationships, in their health, in their peace, and no candle or chant can undo it. Because when you touch certain forces, you don't just walk away. You walk with a stain, one that the universe marked as eternal. Chosen one, this is why you felt the pressure, the sudden shifts, the strange heaviness in your path. That wasn't failure. It was the universe shielding you while the chaos returned to sender. It had to get heavy before it got clear. You had to be pulled back before you were launched forward. But now, you're rising, and they're watching. Not because they still hate, but because they're haunted by the proof that nothing they did could stop your destiny. And maybe the cruelest part for them is this: you didn't fight back. You didn't use spells. You didn't wish harm. You just kept walking. That's what scares them the most, because people who use darkness don't understand how someone can be protected without lifting a finger. But you are, and always have been, not by chance, but by choice. You're chosen, and no force, no ritual, no whispered curse can ever unchoose you. So keep shining, keep rising, let them watch, let them wonder, because the curse they crafted, it's theirs now, forever. So, chosen one, are you truly ready to uncover how the curse they sent is now haunting them forever? This isn't just another story. This is a breakdown of real spiritual cause and effect. And if you're tuned in, it's because you were meant to hear this. Drop the number 777 in the comments if you know deep down that their dark energy only cursed themselves. And if this message speaks to your soul, consider blessing the energy behind it, whether it's with a like, a share, or even a super thanks. Every bit helps keep this truth alive and moving. This isn't just content, it's a warning, a confirmation, a mirror, and your support helps reflect it back to more chosen ones across the world. And now, let's walk through this step by step, because if you're truly chosen, you're going to feel it in your spirit, that magnetic pull to stay until the end. Let's begin. Number 1, they shared your bed. While plotting your fall, the ultimate betrayal is always served with a smile. They didn't stab you in the back, chosen one. They hugged you close, looked into your eyes, and slid the blade straight into your soul. This part is going to hurt, not because it isn't true, but because it is. You were betrayed, not by enemies waving red flags, but by the ones closest to you, the ones who smiled, served you food, poured your drinks, and whispered, "I love you," while slowly bleeding your spirit dry. Some of the darkest curses don't come with chants or candles. They come in the form of daily routines, soft voices and warm embraces from people who never had good intentions for you in the first place. Now pause for a moment and ask yourself, why did you feel so drained around certain people, even when they hadn't done or said anything harsh? Why did your motivation vanish when you were in their presence? Why did your dreams fade, your fire dim, your purpose blur, while they somehow began to thrive? The truth, chosen one, is brutal. They were never pouring into you. They were feeding off you. You weren't in a relationship. You were in a slow exorcism. Every touch, every meal, every comforting word, it was a disguise, a mask worn by energy vampires sent not just to distract you, but to consume you. Your exhaustion wasn't from work. Your confusion wasn't from stress. It was the result of spiritual parasites pretending to be companions. The same ones who cooked for you, slept beside you, called you love. They were draining your essence to fuel their own selfish rise. And the universe saw it all. They spiked your meals not just with substances, but with intentions, with silent spells of control, with manipulative energies meant to make you docile, lost, and numb. You weren't being cared for, you were being captured. That's the ugly truth. This isn't paranoia. This is pattern. How many times did you come home feeling like something was off, but couldn't explain it? How many moments did you doubt your own intuition, brushing off the chills, crawling up your spine? Let's make something very clear. Real love energizes you. It elevates you. It awakens the fire inside you. If being around someone made you feel like you were dying slowly, they weren't your partner. They were your predator. And chosen one, this is exactly why you're single. Not because you're unworthy, not because love passed you by, but because the universe yanked you away from poison disguised as passion. The dating pool you've been avoiding, it's filled with smiling assassins and well-dressed curses. Your isolation isn't punishment, it's protection. You didn't lose them, you escaped them. And it's time you started seeing your solitude as a sanctuary, not a sentence. Because some of the most charming souls out there are wearing the skin of soulmates while carrying the hunger of demons. They don't want love, they want your light. They don't want to build with you. They want to build on you, on your pain, your energy, your gifts, your magic. And they'll do it quietly, patiently, until there's nothing left of you but the shell. You ever noticed how vibrant they became while you started shrinking? You lost weight, you lost joy, you lost time, and somehow they gained everything. That's not love, that's a transaction, and you were the currency. And for those who are still with someone and hearing this, feeling that gut pull of truth deep inside, don't ignore it. Love should never make you feel spiritually bankrupt. If you have to sacrifice your peace just to keep someone close, then what you're in isn't a relationship. It's a slow spiritual death. This betrayal hurts more than anything because it was personal, it was intimate, it came wrapped in smiles and kind gestures, and that's what makes it so hard to believe. But the universe doesn't care about how long you've known someone, or how loyal you've been. It cares about your energy, your purpose, your path. And when someone threatens that, no matter how charming they look, the universe will remove them. No warnings, no delays. So the next time you feel tempted to go back to someone who drained you, remember this. They didn't change, they just got better at pretending. They're still feeding, still hunting, and if you let them back in, they'll finish what they started. Some of these so-called perfect couples you envy online, they're not love stories, they're hostage situations. One person is glowing because they're devouring the light of the other. It's not balance, it's spiritual theft. And if the tables were turned, if you ever tried to match their energy or protect your own, they'd call you crazy, difficult, or cold. Because the moment you stop bleeding for them, they lose their power. This is why you're not with someone right now, because you were never meant to be a food source. You were never meant to be easy prey. The universe chose you, and that protection comes with isolation, discomfort, and waiting. But it also comes with wisdom, freedom, and a love that doesn't feed on you, but feeds you. So stand tall in your singleness, wear it like armor, because while others are tangled in fake love and spiritual traps, you're being preserved, prepared, protected. Your glow can't be dimmed anymore. The vampires have lost access. The poison has lost its place, and the curse they tried to sneak into your food, your home, your bed, it now rots in their own space, forever. Let this be your fuel, chosen one. Let the pain sharpen you. Let the betrayal purify you. Because the moment you woke up to the truth, the curse they tried to place on you bounced back. And now, they're the ones looking in the mirror, slowly realizing that what they tried to destroy is now the only thing they can't reach. Their curse is eternal. Your freedom is too. Number 2. They couldn't break through because the universe blocked the door. You were never meant to be touched. They thought they rejected you, but in truth, the universe just hid you where their poison couldn't reach. Imagine this, chosen one. You meet someone who seems perfect. The vibe is right. The timing is aligned. You laugh, connect, feel the spark. But then, just as quick as they came, they vanish. No explanation, no closure. And you're left wondering, what did I do wrong? But what if the answer was nothing at all? What if that sudden shift wasn't rejection, but protection? What if the universe saw something you couldn't and stepped in? You've been spared from destruction more times than you'll ever know. Those moments that felt like heartbreak, they were shields in disguise. People didn't walk away because you lacked something. They walked away because they couldn't take what you have. Your presence, your energy, your essence. It's sacred. And the universe has built invisible walls around you, keeping the wrong ones out no matter how charming they seemed. Your rejection is often the universe's redirection, away from danger into destiny. And that's what the ones who tried to curse you can't stand. They watch you from the shadows. They perform rituals, send intentions, light their candles, hoping to pull you down, hoping to stop your progress. But nothing touches you, nothing lands, and it infuriates them. Why? Because you're the one who doesn't play dirty, and yet you still rise. You don't use manipulation, you don't tap into darkness, you don't force things to happen, and yet your life still blooms, your dreams still grow, you still move forward. They use spells, you use truth, they copy and mimic, you create and lead, they pretend, you simply exist, and that alone is more powerful than anything they can summon. Now imagine this. Two people trying to climb the same mountain. One uses shortcuts, cheats the climb, cuts corners, leaves behind debris. The other climbs with steady feet, clear purpose, and pure intention. When the storm comes, the cheater's path collapses, but yours, solid, protected, chosen. That's how spiritual protection works. It's not always loud or obvious. Sometimes it looks like a date getting cancelled, a friend turning distant, a job falling through. And at first, it stings. It confuses you. But what you didn't see was the energy beneath the surface. That person had darkness wrapped around their aura. That opportunity was coated in manipulation. That door would have led straight to destruction. And the universe slammed it shut, hard, before you could walk through. The universe doesn't always explain itself, but it always protects what's rare. And you, chosen one, you are rare. They know it. That's why they hate you without reason. That's why they try to sabotage what they didn't build. The ones casting spells, speaking curses, doing rituals in the dark. They've seen how naturally you shine. It threatens everything about them. You don't need to fake success. You don't need to seduce it with darkness. You manifest with intention, with love, with raw energy. That's why everything they try to create looks like a cheap imitation of your authentic glow. And the more they watch you thrive, the more their envy grows. Because you are proof that light doesn't need shadows to be powerful. You are the living contradiction to everything they believe. They say, the only way to win is to manipulate. You say, I'll rise with truth. They say, it's about control. You say, it's about alignment. They used spells to fake what you were born with. And let's be real, they've tried everything. They played nice to get close. They flirted to gain your trust. They wore masks so you wouldn't see their true intentions. But every time, something stopped it. Something felt off. Something pulled you back. That something was the universe. Your spirit knows energy. It detects lies before your mind can explain them. That's why some people made your skin crawl even when they smiled. That's why some situations made you feel sick even when they seemed ideal. Your intuition isn't paranoia. It's precision. A built-in shield forged from lifetimes of experience and divine selection. Your spirit said no before your heart got the chance to say yes. That's protection. So if you've been wondering why you keep meeting people who look perfect but feel wrong, It's because those connections weren't meant for you. They were tests, traps, disguises. You weren't ghosted, you were guarded. You weren't overlooked, you were hidden. And every rejection was a redirection to something far more aligned with your true frequency. Here's another truth. Some people were never meant to sit at your table because they were secretly trying to poison your plate. And some lovers only wanted access to your spirit so they could steal your light and sell it off as their own. That's why the universe stepped in. It didn't just close doors, it locked them, sealed them, and buried the keys deep in places those people will never reach. And now, they're watching. They're confused. They're angry. They're desperate. Because despite their rituals, their schemes, their manipulation, you're still rising, you're still glowing, and the very forces they called upon have started to turn on them. Why? Because when you send out darkness with the wrong intent, that darkness always comes home, eventually, and now it lives with them. They lit candles to curse you, now they're burning in the very fire they created. And you're free, not because you escaped, but because you were never caught. So, chosen one, next time you feel that sting of what could have been, remember this: it wasn't meant to be, because it would have cost you everything. That job, that relationship, that friend group, that invitation. All of it was laced with energy that wasn't safe for your journey. And if you had stepped through those doors, you wouldn't be standing where you are now. Your path is protected. Your energy is rare. Your presence is guarded not just by intuition, but by design. So let the spellcasters scream into the void. Let the jealous ones throw shade from the sidelines. Let the manipulators wonder why nothing works on you. The truth is simple. They tried to curse what the universe already claimed, and that's a battle they'll never win. Number 3, they tried to hijack your fate, but the universe made them crash the whole damn vehicle. They wanted your destiny so bad, they broke into the vault, only to find it was protected by a force they'll never understand. Imagine being watched not because you're loud, but because you glow in silence. Imagine someone seeing you rise, and instead of admiring your journey, they try to intercept it. That's what happened, chosen one. They studied your every move, copied your rhythm, tried to mimic your essence, thinking they could steal your path and wear your future like it was theirs. But what they didn't realize is that your destiny isn't a costume. It's skin deep. It can't be stolen. It can't be imitated. It can only be lived, and only by you. You can't duplicate a soul print, no matter how many spells you cast or how much you study the original. They paid psychics to trace your energy. They tapped into your dreams, trying to hijack your visions. They watched from a distance, waiting to pounce on your next breakthrough. But the universe flipped the script. Every time they thought they had you figured out, the road shifted. Every time they thought they were a step ahead, they found themselves walking in circles, chasing a version of you that doesn't exist anymore. Because while they were trying to predict your next move, the universe was upgrading you in silence. Your energy doesn't follow a script. It evolves, it transforms, it ascends, and they can't catch what's constantly rising. They practiced dark magic like it was a sport until they met you and got benched by the universe. They had a history of success, destroying others, leeching off the weak, faking alignment to steal what didn't belong to them. But then they targeted you, and suddenly their curses collapsed. Their masks slipped. Their power turned to dust. You weren't a new target. You were the end of their pattern, their final lesson. And now the world is waking up. Fake chosen ones are being exposed. Plastic lives wrapped in filters and fake energy are dissolving like illusions. Relationships built on manipulation are imploding. People are staring across dinner tables at partners they don't even recognize anymore, realizing they've been sleeping beside spiritual enemies wearing the skin of soulmates. You didn't fight to expose the truth. You just survived, and that survival set off the chain reaction. You were the glitch in their curse, the soul they couldn't control, the light they couldn't dim. They underestimated the power of realness, and now every lie they've ever told is unraveling in front of the same audience they tried to impress. Because when you try to steal a chosen one's destiny, you don't just fail, you curse yourself forever. Number 4, they funded their own fall and paid for your rise without even knowing it. Every dollar they spent to curse you became an investment in your destiny, and now they're bankrupt in every way that matters. Imagine this, chosen one. Someone hates you so much, they start emptying their pockets to destroy you. They hand over cash to spellcasters, praying for your failure. They burn candles, chant curses, do rituals, all with your name in their mouth. And what happens? You start winning, not just surviving, but thriving. New doors open, checks show up. Unexpected blessings hit your life like waves, and they stand there stunned, wondering how the very thing meant to break you turned into the reason you're shining even brighter. They tried to pay for your downfall, but the universe flipped the transaction, and now you're living off their spiritual debt. That's not coincidence, that's divine justice in motion. Every attack they launched became fuel for your blessings. Every curse they spoke got rerouted and transformed, turned into a miracle, multiplied by the same energy they meant for harm. The universe doesn't miss, it doesn't waste, it collects energy like currency. And when someone sends negativity toward a protected soul, that energy gets reworked into blessings. That's the law. Spiritual karma with compound interest. They spent hundreds, even thousands, trying to tamper with your path, and the universe took every bit of that energy and turned it into you landing on your feet when you should have fallen. Into refunds, reimbursements, gifts, random checks, unexpected support. You were supposed to be buried, but you bloomed instead. Their curses were seeds, your pain was the soil, and now you're the tree they never thought would grow. Meanwhile, they're watching their own lives fall apart, their money gone, their stability shattered, their relationships disconnected, cold, hollow. They ask themselves, why is everything falling apart? Because they messed with the wrong one, the chosen one. They thought magic was a game. They thought energy didn't come with consequence. But now they're living in chaos, bills piling up, friends ghosting them, success slipping through their fingers like sand. And the worst part? The very practitioners they hired now shrug their shoulders and say, the spell worked. You just aimed it at the wrong person. Because you, chosen one, aren't like the others. You're wrapped in an invisible protection grid powered by truth, purpose, and alignment. No curse can hold where there is clarity. No hex can land where there is higher frequency. And every single attack they sent is now chained to their own aura, dragging their life into the same pit they dug for you. You didn't just survive their witchcraft, you turned it into wealthcraft. This isn't revenge. This is alignment. This is what happens when people play with forces they don't understand, trying to curse a soul hand-picked by the universe to rise. And no matter how many times they call those same practitioners for reversals, it's too late. The law is already active. The consequences are already moving, and they can't stop what's been set in motion. You're still here, you're still rising, and they're the ones haunted, not by demons, but by the memory of the moment they thought hurting you was a smart move. Divine justice isn't loud, it's unavoidable. Number 5. When the fog lifts, the mask falls, and the truth hits like lightning. They thought the spell would last forever, but even illusions shatter when the light gets too loud. Imagine waking up next to someone you once thought was your safe place, only to realize you were sleeping beside your sabotage. That's what's happening now, Chosen One. The fog is lifting, the spells are breaking, and people are seeing clearly for the first time in years. They're looking into the eyes of the person they once loved and seeing the truth. Not affection, not loyalty, not soul connection, but control, manipulation, emotional decay wrapped in routine smiles. You can't stay blind when the universe rips the veil off your life. There's a silent explosion happening in people's hearts right now. Marriages that once looked unbreakable are suddenly on the edge. Long-term relationships are collapsing overnight. Not because people want drama, but because they can't pretend anymore. The awareness is too loud now. They remember who they used to be, driven, vibrant, full of purpose, and compare it to who they've become, tired, lost, drained, stuck. That's not love. That's entrapment. They're connecting the dots. The ambition they lost, the energy that disappeared, the friendships they were pushed to abandon. It all leads back to that one person who claimed to love them while spiritually feeding on their light. They weren't your partner, they were your prison. Chosen One, you've been wondering why real love hasn't shown up yet, even after all your growth, all your healing. But the universe didn't forget you. It hid you. It hid you from false unions so you wouldn't get entangled in someone else's illusion. You were protected from half-loves and hollow partnerships because your real connection is still in process, waking up, cutting cords, healing wounds, just like you did. And when you meet, it will all make sense. It won't feel like a spark. It will feel like a homecoming, a deep exhale, a quiet knowing. After years of being surrounded by people who just wanted your energy, you'll finally connect with someone who sees your soul and has no intention of draining it. And while all of this unfolds, something else is happening behind the scenes. Your financial energy is erupting. Why? Because every death spell they sent to kill your money didn't just fail, it backfired. Every ritual, every intention, every word spoken to block your abundance got caught in the universe's justice system and flipped. Now your money is protected like a fortress. Now it multiplies faster than before. Now it flows because of their attacks. They tried to bankrupt you spiritually and accidentally triggered your breakthrough instead. The people who once laughed while trying to curse your name, they're quiet now, watching, broke, alone, confused, because the same universe they tried to manipulate is now refusing to let them near what they thought they'd stolen. Their spells created your shields, their curses built your currency, and their games woke up an entire generation of souls who now refuse to stay asleep. This is the awakening, and it cannot be stopped. Number 6. The curse that backfired forever, and now it's tattooed on their lives. They tried to destroy you with their power, and ended up cursed by your resilience. There are people out there, wealthy, connected, influential, who thought they could crush you like a bug on their windshield. They assumed their status would be enough to silence your rise. They whispered curses in boardrooms, sent spells through secret circles, and paid whatever it cost to break your spirit. But Chosen One, they forgot one unshakable truth. Money can't bribe the universe. Power can't manipulate cosmic law. There are forces that don't bend for bank accounts, and they just found out the hard way. They threw bricks at you, and you built an empire out of every single one. What they didn't expect was that every move against you would build you. The closed doors didn't stop your progress. They rerouted it. The betrayal didn't break you. It revealed who never deserved a seat at your table. The isolation they forced on you didn't weaken you. It became your spiritual gym. Every attack turned into an unplanned lesson. Every loss sharpened your vision. Every setback toughened your skin and heightened your senses. They tried to make you small. They made you unstoppable instead. You were their target. Now you're their reminder of everything they couldn't kill. What they did was hand you a spiritual degree they couldn't even begin to study for. You learned how to spot fakes without words. You learned how to walk alone without losing momentum. You stopped waiting for approval, stopped shrinking your light, stopped explaining your power. You became the version of you they were terrified would wake up. And now that you're here, unshaken, self-built, clear-eyed, they can feel the curse of their actions settling in like a permanent shadow. Their wealth drying up, their influence slipping, their name losing power. Because the same universe they tried to use against you is now using you as proof that no weapon formed ever truly prospers, and every spell sent comes stamped return to sender. They thought they were writing your ending, but they accidentally triggered your beginning. This curse on them is not temporary, it's permanent, not because you cursed them, but because their own intentions boomeranged so hard, the impact can't be undone. They played with spiritual fire and scorched their own legacy. The tables aren't just turning, they're flipping, and now the world will witness the rise of the one they tried to bury, while they drown in the very darkness they summoned. Number 7. They tried to end you. Now the universe will make you unforgettable. They tried to erase your name, but now the universe is about to carve it into history. Chosen one, your breakthrough isn't just coming. It's storming in with a force so undeniable, it'll silence every whisper that ever doubted you. This won't be a quiet win. This will be the kind of success that makes people question everything they thought they knew about energy, karma, and spiritual law. You're not about to rise, you're about to erupt. And when it happens, the same mouths that mocked your silence will struggle to speak under the weight of your glow. They laughed while you struggled. Now they'll watch while the universe makes you a living legend. Everything they did to break you was actually preparation. The setbacks weren't delays, they were alignment. The betrayals weren't curses, they were divine removals. And now nothing stands between you and the reality the universe always intended for you. The love you've been waiting for. It's already being prepared. Your divine partner is awakening just like you did, cutting toxic cords, healing from illusions, and rising to meet you in wholeness. Your soul family, being rearranged in perfect time. The fake ones are gone, and the real ones are coming. People who don't compete with your light, but protect it. And those creative visions, they're about to explode. Not just with visibility, but with influence, impact, and success beyond what you imagined. The same ideas they tried to steal. The world will watch them manifest through you with such clarity that no one can deny where the brilliance came from. Because your creativity isn't something they can clone. It comes from your soul, and that can't be stolen. They tried to silence your voice. Now it echoes in places they'll never reach. And the wealth. Oh, chosen one, it's not trickling in, it's flooding. not just enough to get by. This is the kind of abundance that changes lives, yours and others. Financial freedom, business expansion, generational wealth, and the best part, the energy they spent trying to block your abundance, that currency has been rerouted into your spiritual vault, now overflowing. While you rise, they fall. And no, it's not temporary. The curse they placed on you reversed the moment they sent it. Now it clings to them. It has its own legs, its own momentum, and it will follow them until the lesson is learned, even if it takes lifetimes. Some will come crawling back, with apologies, with regret. But it's too late. The energy's already been stamped. The universe has already written the ending. And you won't even need to lift a finger. The best revenge is no revenge. Just live so loud their curses drown in your success. You were never meant to seek revenge. You were meant to rise so high that your story becomes a warning. A sacred legend, a living example of what happens when someone tries to curse a soul the universe protects. And now, chosen one, that's exactly who you are. Keep building, keep rising, because the world is about to witness a transformation so powerful, no one will ever forget your name. Number 8. They wanted you silent. Now their world is falling apart from the sound of your name. They tried to bury your voice. Now every echo of your name haunts the walls they built to feel powerful. Chosen one, let's get something straight. They didn't just want to hurt you. They wanted to erase you, not physically, but spiritually. They wanted your name forgotten, your work overlooked, your influence deleted. They wanted your light snuffed out so no one could feel your impact, hear your truth, or follow your lead. But the universe had other plans. Now, the name they cursed is rising in rooms they'll never be invited into. The voice they tried to silence is traveling through circles they can't penetrate. Your message, the one they mocked, ridiculed, tried to smother, is now the very thing shaking the foundation of everything they built on lies. They wanted the world to forget you, but now your name is a vibration that cracks their fake reality. Imagine this. You're walking your path quietly, healing, growing, glowing, and suddenly you find out your name is being mentioned in rooms you've never stepped into. That strangers are being inspired by your energy, that your presence is spreading without permission, without promotion, just because of what you carry. Now imagine being them, watching this happen. Imagine the rage, the confusion. How can the one they tried to destroy be thriving this loud? They stalk you silently, on fake accounts, through mutuals, through gossip. They ask around, hoping to hear that you've failed. But instead, they hear that you're building, glowing, moving forward like nothing touched you. And that's what kills them most. You never fought back. You didn't need to. Your glow spoke louder than their curses ever could. Your rise is the volume they can't turn down, no matter how far they run from the sound. You see, chosen one, their plan was never just to block your blessings. It was to remove you from memory, but the universe turned the volume up instead. Now every success you experience becomes a ripple in their life. Every achievement becomes another reminder. They failed. Not just once, but permanently. They hear your name in songs that sound too familiar. They see your energy reflected in people who now admire what they tried to dim. They come across your words, your wisdom, your influence, even in places they didn't expect. They scroll past your light every time they try to run from it. And here's the brutal truth. They thought your silence was weakness, but it was power loading. And now that it's activated, their world is collapsing under the weight of your existence. You didn't need revenge. The universe made your name a storm, and now they live in the wreckage. Keep speaking, chosen one. Keep rising. Because your voice is no longer just yours, it's justice in motion. A sound too loud to silence, a truth too real to erase. And now, every echo of your name is their permanent reminder. They should have never tried to silence the soul the universe chose to amplify. Number 9. You were the final lesson they never wanted, and the curse they can't escape. They picked the wrong one, and now they're stuck in a class they'll never graduate from. Chosen one, understand this. They've done this before. You weren't their first target. They've built a pattern around destruction, draining others, manipulating energy, playing with spiritual forces to climb higher by stepping on other people's light. They've whispered curses behind smiling faces. They've worn masks and called it charm. They've ruined good people for sport and gotten away with it until they touched you. Because you weren't just another victim, you were the final test, the one soul they never should have played with. And when they crossed that invisible line, the one guarded by universal law, they didn't just trigger karma. They activated a curse that's going to follow them through this lifetime and the next. You were never the revenge, you were the consequence. Imagine a person who's been cheating fate for years, dodging justice, hiding behind wealth, charm, spiritual tricks. Then one day they meet someone with a frequency too high to manipulate, too aligned to infiltrate. And they think, just another soul to break. So they do what they always do, throw spells, drain energy, send attacks. But this time, everything goes wrong. Their health starts declining. Their finances unravel. Their influence weakens. People begin to turn away, not knowing why, only sensing something is off. Their luck gone. Their clarity blurred. Their power disappearing by the day, because the moment they aimed their darkness at you, they triggered a spiritual trap. You didn't curse them. You revealed the curse already living inside them. And now it's active. You were their mirror, and they hated what they saw so much. They tried to break the glass, but now they're bleeding from the shards. They thought they were getting ahead. But what they actually did was sign up for a lifelong lesson, a punishment so deep no practitioner can undo it. No apology, no ritual, no repentance can stop what's coming, because this isn't about bad luck. It's about cosmic law. You were the end of their cycle, the soul that forced a reckoning. All the pain they sent to others has now come full circle, and you stood tall. You took the hit. You passed the test they didn't even know they were being given. They saw a target. The universe saw a trap. And now they're stuck inside it, with no way out. Let them scramble. Let them try to undo it. It's too late. They messed with someone who was chosen not just for protection, but for activation. And now they know. You weren't a victim. You were the curse they called on themselves, a living lesson they'll never forget. Number 10. Their obsession became their downfall, while you kept glowing unbothered. They were so busy watching your light, they never saw their own world going dark. Chosen one, they didn't just attack you and walk away. No, they stuck around. They kept watching, kept checking your page, your name, your energy. They became addicted to your every move, not out of love, not even hate anymore, but obsession. You became their fixation, their unfinished business, because they needed to see you fall to feel like they won. They weren't just your enemy, they became your audience. Imagine someone so consumed with your downfall that they pause their own life just to monitor yours. They scroll through your silence, looking for signs of failure. They ask mutual friends about you in fake concern. They sit in rooms with others like them, plotting, talking, hoping that maybe this time something will shake your peace. But instead, you got louder. Not with words, not with drama, with growth, with peace, with effortless glow. They don't understand it. How is this person still rising? Why didn't the spell work? Why does their life look even better now? Because, chosen one, they didn't realize this. Their attention was never power over you. It was fuel for you. While they wasted time stalking your progress, you were building. While they spread rumors, you were attracting truth. While they obsessed over your collapse, you were manifesting your ascension. You healed in peace while they unraveled in silence. They weren't ready for that part. The part where you outgrow the pain they caused. Where you smile without needing revenge. Where you live like they never happened, because your peace isn't a performance. It's protection. And here's the truth they can't face. They lost the moment they needed you to lose. Because anyone who requires another person's failure to feel whole has already cursed themselves. And now they're trapped in a loop, watching the very person they tried to destroy become everything they can't touch. You stopped thinking about them. They never stopped thinking about you. And that's what's eating them alive. Their obsession, it turned into decay. Their hatred, a prison, their focus on you, a distraction that wrecked their own path. Meanwhile, you kept glowing, unbothered, unshaken, untouchable, because you weren't placed on this path to prove them wrong. You were placed here to prove to yourself and the world that real energy never needs an audience. It just radiates. Number 11. The universe isn't just protecting you, it's now using you as a weapon of truth. You're not just covered by the universe, you've become its sword, cutting through every lie they tried to build. Chosen one, you've crossed a threshold. You're no longer just a survivor, you're a symbol, a walking disruption to every illusion they worked so hard to maintain. Your rise isn't just healing you anymore, it's shaking foundations, it's waking people up, it's exposing every fake, every manipulator, every spiritual thief who thought they could get away with it. You don't even have to say a word. Your presence alone confronts false energy. Your glow reveals shadows. The same people who once mocked you now hide from your light, because standing near you means being seen for who they really are. The universe isn't just protecting you now, it's using you as a signal, a message, a warning. You are living proof that truth wins, that energy never lies, that darkness has an expiration date. They tried to silence you, but now your existence speaks loudly. And every day you rise, the universe makes it clear. This chosen one isn't just safe. They're armed with purpose, with clarity, and with unstoppable truth. And so, chosen one, as the dust settles and the truth stands tall, remember this: you were never the victim, you were the catalyst, the proof that no curse can break what the universe has built. You didn't just survive their darkness, you exposed it, and now your light leads the way for others to wake up, rise up, and reclaim their power. If this message resonated deep in your spirit, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop 777 in the comments to confirm you're walking in your truth. Share this with someone who needs the reminder: the chosen always rise.